Hi guys, it's Kelly and Crystal. The Kelly and Crystal show. So today we're talking about, what are we talking about? Editorial calendar and how often you should post and all that good stuff. So be sure and ask your questions over in the event page as we usually do. Before we get going with that, I'm going to introduce myself. Crystal's going to introduce herself, and we're going to get to chatting. So I'm Kelly, and I blog at threeboysandadog.com. I blog about homeschooling and homemaking tips for busy folks. I've been blogging since November 2006. I have 3 boys, but I actually have 3 dogs now. So I guess that's me. My hair's wet. I'm sorry. My hair's always
You're so funny. Well, good morning, guys. I am Crystal, Dallas mom blogger at crystalandcomp.com. And I think it's been 3 weeks since we've had a hangout. And if you follow us over in our Facebook group, you know that we are going to a new schedule for the rest of the year. And then we may even go to an even more revised schedule in 2015. We've just reached a point where we've talked about everything. And obviously, things are going to continue to change in blogging, and we'll address those topics, but we don't always have a topic to talk about every week. So, we feel like out of the 85 videos that we've done, that if you will, we share an hour's worth of content in each of those videos. And if you are applying what's in those videos, there's no reason why you shouldn't be making at least $100 a month. So if you will apply those things, you will be profiting from your site. And we're putting a lot of focus on really hand-holding and helping people build SEO plans for their sites. And that's what we do with our class, with our small intimate class that we offer. We are about to start our 8th class. So anyway, so that's kind of what we're focusing on right now. So right now the Hangouts are going to every other week for the rest of the year, and then we will reassess it for 2015. So anyway, so you can find us here on Tuesday mornings at 10 a.m. Central Time. For the rest of the year, it's every other Tuesday morning instead of every Tuesday morning. And we are, like Kelly said, today we're talking about posting schedules, and this is a question that comes up a lot. People will say, but how do you post every day? Or people will say, but how do you find time to post? And I'll tell you guys, if you cannot make time, if blogging each day is not as natural to you as feeding your children 3 meals a day, then you're going to struggle with this, because you have to have content so that the search engines can index you and have a purpose to send people to you. So that's what we're going to dive into today. It's a perfect topic that people have been bringing up in a roundabout way, and I'm excited to talk about it. I think it's going to answer a lot of your questions. So yes, over on the event page, ask your questions. We'll be watching there, and we're excited to dive into this. All right, Kelly, go ahead.
So Cindy says, is there a way to get this to not pop up in a new window? You can't see the comments that way. No idea. That must be a Google change. The way that I do, because our Hangout part always opens in a new window or a new tab, is I just open mine and have 2 going. So on one side I can see Crystal talking and I can see our little Hangout thing, and on the other side I can see the comments. So it's 2 separate windows as opposed to just 2 separate tabs. Yeah. It works for me that way.
That's what I do too.
Okay, so I just did a comment that that leaves the Facebook group link in case you're not a member over there. It leaves the VIP forum link, and it has where you can sign up for our next class. So check that out. I also edited the description so that it has all those links on there. So blog posting schedules. Where do you want to get started, Crystal?
Well, let's talk about, I don't know, a couple of months ago, Kelly sent me this article, and I'm like, oh my goodness, yes, this is brilliant. This is what people need to hear, and we need to dive into this even more as bloggers, as people who run their blogs every day as, you know, as a business. So, you know, people will say that, you know, I only have time to post a couple of times a week. Or people will say, how do I kick it up a notch? My traffic is only, you know, 1,000 page views a month. And how do I get to the next level? How do we do this? What do we do? I want you to ask yourself, I'm going to break this down in a super simple way for you. Okay? If your site has 5 posts on it, how many things are there available for the search engines to index? How many opportunities is there for content to go viral? How many opportunities is there for content to even be shared on social media networks? Okay? And then let's just double that. Let's say you have a site with 10. Let's just keep it simple. So you have 10 posts on a site. How have you, now you've doubled your opportunity for double the content to be indexed, double the content that's possible to go viral, double the content to share on every social media network, double the content to be delivered to someone's email feed, on and on and on. And as you continue to make those numbers bigger, the more opportunity you have for each of those things that I just said. So, someone who's blogging 3 times a week, you have to understand that that is considered hobby blogging, okay?
It doesn't mean you're not making money off of it.
Right, exactly, exactly. It doesn't mean that you're not making any money. It just means you're blogging as a hobby. Someone who's posting every day has even more stuff indexed, even more stuff with the potential to go viral on Pinterest, even more stuff coming up in the search engines. Someone who posts 2 high-quality content articles a day, 6 to 7 days a week, now how much has that doubled, tripled, quadrupled for them, okay? I want you to start thinking about your blog this way and understand that you kick it up by kicking up what you're producing, what you're giving to the readers, what you're giving to the search engines. Kelly, how do you want to dissect that even more?
I mean, yeah, there are some people that post once or twice a week that do well.
Mm-hmm.
But if those people that posted once or twice a week could double their output, could double what they're putting, imagine how much better they would be doing. So one thing that we say, and that Holly Holmer has said, actually, when she was on our Hangout one time, was that when she does a sponsored post,
Mm-hmm.
she makes sure that she wraps it with real content. Well, if you're only writing once a week or twice a week, you can't wrap that sponsored post with real content.
Mm-hmm.
So when a PR agent goes to your site or a reader goes to your site, all they see is sponsored content. So it doesn't feel authentic. It feels like, hey, you'll do whatever you want, whatever for $1 or for a pack of gum. So if you can wrap it so that it's fit into your normal everyday content, then your readership is going to be better because they realize that you're giving stuff, good information that they want, and that you still have to pay the bills.
Well, and, you know, something else to consider is that this is why we focus a lot on encouraging people to create landing pages. And in order to have a good landing page, you need to have good content so, you know, a landing page is basically a list of all the posts that you've written about that topic. So right now is fall, and you really want to work in all of your pumpkin stuff between now and hopefully you've been working on it for weeks, but you know, by Thanksgiving, there's not going to be any more pumpkin talk. And really, a couple of weeks before Thanksgiving, you're going to be working on Christmas stuff. So how can you get the search engines to say 3 Boys and the Dog is the place to go to for pumpkin activities? You're not going to do that with one post. So when you pull up your analytics, and your analytics shows that you only get 2% traffic referrals from the search engines each month, there's a reason for that. You don't have, the search engines are not finding the quantity of posts for that topic on your site when they're indexing you and when they're searching for it. So how do you do that? You need to be posting at least once a week about pumpkin activities if that's what you're trying to rank for. And let's kick it up a notch. You know, Thanksgiving and Halloween are not that far away. So maybe we could post 2 times a week, you know, one being a pumpkin-related recipe and one being a pumpkin-related activity. How do you give the search engines enough content to say we need to start sending pumpkin search traffic to 3 boys and a dog? It's not going to come off of one post. And then you create a landing page. Go ahead. What, Kelly?
Unless you get lucky. There are times, you know, that there are times where you've written something, you didn't even set it up for SEO, and for some odd reason, Google is bound and determined to send you traffic for it. It's not what you want to be ranking for, but you are. And the reason is because you were one of the only people writing about it.
So you can get lucky, and you might get some traffic, or you can be deliberate and you can get results. I'm not going to sit here and tell you that there's no blogger that's ever had their own TV show. Yeah, there is one. But do you think, but, you know, you meet up with your group of mom blogger friends, how many of you guys have a TV show? So yes, there's a few that have their own TV show on Food Network. But my point is, yes, certain things can be done, but it takes a lot of deliberate work to make this stuff happen. And if we're just willy-nilly, and I sound like my mother now, if we're just, you know, poking around and hoping for results, you know, people say, there was a question on the Facebook group the other day that said, where does the majority of your social media come from? And a lot of people say Pinterest. Different niches have different answers. But you're not, like right now when I pull up my analytics for the last 30 days, 30%, actually I think it's 33% comes from Pinterest. 32% comes from search engine traffic. Another 29% comes from direct traffic. That's what I want. I want a nice combination. Every community has its purpose. And then the rest is, the next is Facebook, and then specific blogs like Kelly's blog, other blogs that I follow and love. So the point is, how do you get that? How do you get to this place where you're getting a nice combination of social media referrals, search engine referrals, other blogger referrals, direct people coming to your site? You don't get it by posting one great thing a week. You get it by being deliberate and having a plan and saying, okay, it's time to write about pumpkins. And we're going to give the readers, the search engines, and the social media outlets great content from Crystal & Co. about pumpkins. Does that make sense, guys?
So,
okay, go ahead, Kelly.
I just want to say, you know, whenever somebody asked me in this whole post, and I don't remember, somebody actually shared the link to that article, and then I copied it and sent it to Crystal, copied the link and sent it to Crystal. And I don't remember who shared it, and I can't remember if it was in the Learn to Blog or if it actually was in the Kid Blogger Network or where it was that it was shared. So, you know, whoever it was, thank you, and I don't remember who or where. But anyway, so in the middle of all that, there was another post that came across that asked how many posts do you write a week? Well, my site gets 14 to 21 posts a week. New posts every week. So everybody's just floored. Oh my gosh, that's so many posts. How do you do it? How do you do it? That's crazy. Well, we all talk about Holly Homer. We all talk about Kids Activities blog. We all talk about her massive Facebook page and how everybody wants the kind of traffic that Holly has. Everybody wants people to say their name or their blog and have everybody else know who it is. I just went to my email and I checked my feed because I get an email with Kids Activities blog, their new posts in my inbox every single day. I haven't gotten today's yet, but I went and looked and I counted. There are 10 posts in the Kids Activities email that came through on Monday. So I'll count again on Tuesday and check and see exactly what's happening. But to me, it sounds like Kids Activities blog is producing 10 new posts every single day. Now, whether she's taking old content and reposting it when it gets better, or totally and completely creating all new content, 10 posts every single day.
I can tell you what I think she did. She creates 3 posts a day. This is based on what I've looked at. She creates 3 posts a day. However, she had 3 sites. June Cleaver Nirvana, a local Dallas hyperlocal site about Dallas things, and then Kids Activities blog. If you subscribe to each of those 3 individually, then now you get 3 emails, but it's pretty much the same content in each one, I believe. Are you finding something different?
No, this is one email with 10 new posts,
okay,
plus a thing about her book, plus a thing at the bottom promoting some other stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, and here's the thing, guys.
So yeah, we're not Kids Activities blog. We don't have 40 writers or whatever. We're not Huffington Post with hundreds of people that are producing content every single day for us. We're not BuzzFeed that has all these employees producing all. We're not. So how do we, like Crystal said, how do we step up our game? Don't all of a sudden go from doing 1 to 2 posts a week to doing 14 to 20. You'll run yourself ragged, and you will flip out the people that are your loyal readers. So slowly start adding in something else. During the month of November, from November 1st through the day before Thanksgiving, I usually have 4 posts going on, at least, every single day. This is my 6th annual holiday gift guide, so for 6 years I've been training my readers to know that the holiday gift guide stuff is coming in November and they are going to be inundated with posts. My traffic is so good in November. Is it because of the holiday gift guide? Or is it because I'm producing a lot more content during November? Can you take, if you're writing once a week, for the next month or 2, can you write twice a week? And then once you get into that rhythm where you're doing well and you have a system, can you write 3 days a week? And then 4, and then 5. If you already write, 1 post every single day, 7 days a week, can you take a day and add a second post?
Mm-hmm.
Can you hire somebody?
Right. So there's the other thing. If you can't, like for me, when I did the Letter of the Week activities each week, I did not have time. I had just started homeschooling. Well, I think we were a year in, but I did not have time. And honestly, I had never really taught preschoolers. I worked in a daycare in high school, but I had never really searched a lot for preschool curriculum. My twins had gone to Mother's Day out. Our older boys had been in public school, so so I reached out to a blogger who did that kind of content on her site, and I knew that I wanted Letter of the Week activities to do with my preschooler in the next year. So I thought, they're the expert on it. Who am I fooling? It's a commitment. I knew that it would be hard for me to say every Tuesday or whatever day of the week we did it, every Tuesday a new Letter of the Week craft would come out if I had to do all the research to find everything and whatever. So I reached out to someone who already wrote about that and said, would you be willing to do it? I didn't have a big budget at all, but she already knew how to create that content. That was the kind of thing she was creating on her site, and it was easy for her. And every Sunday for 26 weeks, that post was in my draft ready to go. So if you don't have $10 to pay someone to do that, if you don't have $20, $25, whatever that you feel the fair price is, how can you negotiate with someone or barter with someone? So say that your Facebook page is doing really good and you have some secrets on how to run a Facebook page. Offer that to someone. Say that you really wish that you could have a new recipe posted on your site every week, but you don't have the time to do that, to create that content because you're working on other content. So maybe you approach someone and say, I will work on growing your Facebook page each week, or I'll run your Facebook page for you if you will post once a week for me. Think outside the box, okay? There's a lot of bartering that goes on in the blogging world. because, you know, people, we're not doing this stuff. You know, we don't have nannies, we don't have housekeepers. Kelly and I have talked about that many times. We're very frugal people, and we continue to be frugal people. But I want you to know that huh?
If I move, I might have to have a housekeeper.
You're crazy. Just think outside the box and think of other ways that that you can get content on your site. If you specifically can't make that commitment to post now, you know, if you can't make the commitment to kick it up a notch in your posting schedule, but think outside the box in ways that you can make that happen, and utilize, you know, barter with somebody in your tribe. And also, I want you to remember that when you are making money on your site, if you're making $100 a month off of your site, how can you take $10 of that and put it back into your blog for growth? How can you do that? Because $10 will go further than you think. So those are, I just want you to think about it. Start thinking about this in a different way. Were you going to say something, Kelly?
We have lots of questions.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, so Cindy says, what about posting times? I post 1 to 2 times a day, 5 days a week. I read a study the other day that says weekend posts get more shares, etc. Should I change a double post day to a single post day and post one of those posts to Saturday or Sunday? Okay, so I can't tell you what time to write your post. It all depends on your readership and when people are accessing your blog. So if you go to your analytics, hold please. I'm going to screen share.
You're pulling up your analytics.
Yeah. Okay. Can you see it?
It's flashing off and on.
Yeah, that's what it's doing for me. What in the heck? Okay, now can you see it?
Flashing off and on.
Why is it doing that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh, that's going to make me ill.
Well, turn it off.
Well,
just tell us. Tell us what you were going to say.
all right. Well, so much for that. Okay, so go into your Google Analytics. Set your date, however long, past 30 days, whatever. It's fine. Go to Audience, Overview, and then right above the line graph there, you'll see hourly, day, week, month. Click hourly, and then start just kind of hovering over your top points there and see. Okay, on Monday, 1900, 2100 is my highest. On Tuesday, 2100. On Wednesday, okay, so 2100, which is, my mind went blank. 9 o'clock, I think.
1800 is 6 p.m., so 18 times 20, 21. What time did you say?
9.
Yeah, 2100 is 9.
So my highest traffic time is 9 p.m. So that tells me that I absolutely positively have to have my post live and my feed going out before 9 p.m. so that new content is there when my new readers come in or my daily readers come in.
Uh-huh. And that's exactly how I work it too. I don't worry so much about, you know, I have a daily Amazon deal that goes out, and that goes out in the morning because it's ready in the morning. And then my blog post, like my quality content blog post, as long as it's live before my feed hits, and for me, my best feed time is 7 p.m. So, and sometimes my post is not ready, so I have to go in and push my feed time to 8 o'clock, you know, bust my tail trying to get it done. But for me, it's not so much what time the blog posts go live as it is what time my feed goes out and having that blog post done before my feed goes out. That's my biggest, where the biggest impact is for me. Okay, Kelly, what's the next question?
So the next question is Mitzi. Mitzi says, great point, Crystal. My views increased tremendously as soon as I realized the value of concentrating on the keywords I wanted to be ranked for. She says, that's when I began writing a post each week for each keyword. Now I'm beginning to create landing pages, gaining more readers, and I'm beginning to be known as a go-to girl for my topic.
Yep, that's exactly right. So you're writing about the topic consistently. As soon as you create that landing page, that's when you're going to start seeing results in your webmaster tools for whatever topic you're writing about. That's when you're going to see the most impact. And you've got your landing page, and then you're writing about it weekly, and you're continuing to watch your analytics and your webmaster tools. And these, Mitzi, I would love for you to take our class. These are the exact things that we are teaching you to do and kick it up a notch and amplify it to build your SEO plan to get intentional results from the search engine. So, or from the search engines. So,
They took our class.
Oh. Nope.
Okay. Natasha says, I can't do 2 posts a day. I would lose my mind. I just bumped myself up to 3 a week. Well, once you get comfortable with 3 a week, then do 4 a week.
Mm-hmm.
You'll get into a rhythm. You'll set up we're going to talk about that, but you'll set up an actual editorial calendar of sorts, and it'll be much easier. When you know what you have to write, it's so much easier to crank out the content.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Barbara says, I love the idea of bartering. I'm working on creating revenue for more resources for my site. In the meantime, I've got skills I can offer in return for other items. And in the VIP forum, if you'll go into where it says bloggers for hire, if you'll go into that little section and say barter, and then, whatever, and say what you're looking for and what you can offer, you might be surprised. Susan says, could the second post for the day be a more simpler one, fewer pictures, fewer words, or does it also need to be complete SEO?
What is your goal?
Well, but not every post you write should be for SEO.
Right. Exactly. Every post should not be for SEO. However, if you are working on growing your traffic for pumpkin stuff and you're writing 2 pumpkin posts a day or 2 pumpkin posts a week, you do need to be filling it with other content that's not SEO driven. So, guys, this is going to take work. This is going to take commitment. And let me tell you something. Sites like Kids Activities Blog that have 800,000 people following them on Facebook, last year it wasn't even 50,000 this time last year. And none of that came by accident. There was a plan. There was a deliberate plan. There wasn't maybe I'll post 3 times a week, and maybe I'll start writing about whatever. It's not like that. Those kind of results come from deliberate actions. Okay? So you just have to, but also like Kelly said, you don't want to freak out your readers. You don't want all of this information just like slammed to your readers' faces. There needs to be a gradual process and kind of a slow morphing over to get to this place where you're, and for yourself too, to get acclimated and adjusted. But when you are ready to kick up your posting schedule, and when you're ready to start getting more search engine traffic, and when you're ready to get more viral traffic on Pinterest, you have to give the search engines something to do that with. You have to give your readers something to read. You have to give something to go viral. So, you need to find that happy place, that happy medium, and start implementing a plan to make it happen.
So let's think about this logically. If you sit down knowing what to write about, how long does it actually take you to write a post? For me, depends on the post. So, roundups take me I'm so slow at roundups. They bring me a lot of traffic, so I try to do them. But An actual post? Oh, I could knock it out in 30 minutes. Easy. Easy. Roundups usually take me a couple hours, depending on how many links I'm putting in. But how many hours do we have in a week?
Well, I mean, work hours, if you're available to work 8 hours a day, it's just like a job out, that you drive to corporate America for, potentially 40 hours in a week.
I work more than that, but
Oh, I'm sure I do too, but
but 40 hours a week. Okay. So if you wrote a post every single day and it takes an hour, you've only used 7 hours. Where are the rest of your hours going? What are you doing with your day?
Very true. I mean, I'll tell you guys, yeah, it takes
Even if you say 2 hours a post and you write 7 posts a week, you've only used 14 of your 40. Content is more important than anything else you could possibly do for your site. Yes, Facebook is fun. Yes, Pinterest is fun. Yes, Google Plus can be fun, and Twitter can be fun, and reading other blog posts can be fun, and commenting on other blog posts, and linking up to the linkies. But if you don't have content, then you're wasting your time on all those places because you have nothing new to share.
Yep, very true.
All right, let's see what other questions we have. Mitzi says no, but she wants to take it. Crystal says, I can see Mitzi growing by leaps and bounds if she took your class because she's already an awesome blogger.
Crystal Green?
Huh?
Crystal Green said that?
Yep. Crystal Green. Okay, so let's talk the editorial calendar. The way you do your editorial calendar is going to be different than the way I do my editorial calendar. It's probably going to be different than the way Crystal does her editorial calendar, though the two of us are complete opposites. I would imagine that the average Joe or the average Jane would fall somewhere in the middle of what Crystal does and what I do.
Yep.
I must say I've gotten more lenient with mine, but so I know on Monday what type of post I write, on Tuesday what type of post I write, on Wednesday what type, everything. I know specifically what I'll be writing. Now I've gotten more lenient, so I don't necessarily do that, but Mondays, this is my plan. Okay, Sundays is either an organization, homemaking type post, or a weight loss, health type post. Mondays are typically food recipe roundups. Tuesdays are homeschooling. I prefer free printables, but that's the plan. Wednesday is a recipe. Thursday is another homeschooling post, typically like book ideas. Friday is typically a sponsored post day or a keyword that I might be working on if I don't have a sponsored post. Saturday is supposed to be my drugstore roundups, but if I have something better, then I don't put that. So that's my schedule. And then I have a coupon post go or an Amazon deal post go every single day. And then I have a couple writers that do like product reviews on certain days of the week. So.
And so my schedule is very different from that. But this is what works for me. So if I said that on Monday I'm going to write about this, on Tuesday I'm going to write about this, on Wednesday I'm going to write about this, I can't breathe. Like I don't like to do it that way. Now, on Thursday there is a handprint activity for kids that comes out, and that's because someone else does the post. And I knew that I could not commit to every Thursday getting that done, and I didn't have the ideas, but I wanted it to go with my preschool curriculum. Now we've started with Letter of the Week crafts, and now I've grown to, I've got handwriting practice for kids, I've got, handprint art activities, I've got other worksheets and stuff. And how that happened was by writing regularly about letter of the week stuff, and then my webmaster tools started sending me traffic saying people are coming to your site looking for letter D activities for kids. So now I need to create more activities for letter D, etc., etc. So this is my method. I'm trying, for 4 years, I wrote every Monday about meal planning. And this summer, I fell right off the meal planning bandwagon. Like, we had a hard summer, and that's a busy time for our family. My husband works a lot, and it was hard. I'm getting back to, every Monday having a meal planning post again. But I also need to I have specific keywords that I'm working on. I love to be able to say that this post needs to, I wish I could say every Tuesday will be a new handwriting worksheet for kids, but I can't make that kind of commitment. I have the whole week to get it done. And every day, I have at least one quality blog post go out, 6 days a week typically. So, but like my Linky Party, that's not a quality, that's not a post.
That goes on Tuesday.
Yeah, that goes live Tuesday night. I don't do it. I have someone else do it. Just because it's they just put it together, pull the code over, whatever. But that's not quality content that's going to go viral. But that's an opportunity for my readers to see what other people have there that are mommy solutions, and it's an opportunity for people to come on and link up and share their stuff with my readers. But that's not anything that's going to go viral. So, I know that this week I am working on these 5 or 6 posts, and I have the whole week to get them done. I create my editorial calendar based on the current holiday that's coming up and based on what I'm finding in my webmaster tools. So I had someone do some guest posting. Spaceships and Laser Beams is an awesome, I love site. She has tons of birthday party ideas. Well, when I first started blogging, I wrote about birthday party stuff because I would share the things I created for my kids' birthday parties, and then I got away from that. But I had a category for it, and it did, like when I would share a Lego party favor, it would do really well. But I just didn't have time to put into that kind of content. That's not so much what I'm focusing on, on a regular weekly basis. Well, Spaceships and Laser Beams has been guest posting on my site. Oh my goodness, I bet it's been a year. And let me tell you, she can post something like a superhero party theme, and within 3 or 4 weeks, my Webmaster Tools is pulling new keywords for those kind of birthday parties. She shared one post that was how to throw a baby shower on a budget. Well, within a month or 6 weeks, I started getting Webmaster Tool results for baby shower ideas. And I had also shared a few baby shower party favors in the past. So now I take that Webmaster Tool information, I figure out, is it time to create, now do I need to create a landing page? And then I go to brainstorm it and I start playing with words. And then I open a blog post template and I start pulling in my master list of things that I want to start working on. And so now I have a brainstorm list available, and I need to start picking a topic each week from there to start writing about if that's a keyword that I want to start giving my time to. And I mean, the way that my editorial calendar works is so different from Kelly's, but this is how I run my site. And anything else makes me feel too restricted. I'm a person, Kelly can create content. She could create 2 weeks worth of content and just sit there and let one post go out at a time. When I create something, I'm like, this is amazing. The whole world needs to see it. Let me tell you, right now, I have a post that is for Dollar Tree, doing a craft, a Halloween craft for Dollar Tree. Okay, this post has to be approved. So the draft is over with them. They're going over it to approve it. It's amazing. I cannot wait to share it. Every day when I pull up my drafts and I see that post sitting there, I am like sitting on my hands, not pushing publish. I cannot wait to share this cool post. I'm not good at holding a gift and waiting, a month to give it to you. Christmas, having Christmas presents under the tree for weeks and weeks, it drives me nuts. I want to share it with you now. I feel like I've created this art or this creation, and I want to share it now. So Kelly's really good at stockpiling posts. Me, not so much. But I stockpile my ideas. So I kind of have my idea bank, if you will. And it works for me. And I'm used to, for Kelly, that would be total chaos. She would hate it. But this is how I roll. And it's working just fine. Does it drive you nuts, Kelly?
No. It doesn't drive me nuts. I mean, I'm well aware that everybody works differently. On the other hand, if I wake up and I go, I have no idea. I don't know what I'm supposed to write about. I have no clue what I'm going to write. I panic, and guess what happens? I don't write. So then I don't have a post go out. Because I could write about this, but I just wrote about that yesterday. So maybe I should write about, but I wrote about that 2 days ago. Maybe I don't feel like writing about that. I don't know what to do. I panic. Just the opposite. Crystal wakes up and says, somebody says, hey, Crystal, you have to write about this. She's like, I can't write about that today.
I'm like, but I have these pictures in my camera about this delicious dessert that I made, and that's really what I want to talk about today. That's really what I want to share.
But with that said, so Crystal's plan looks completely different than my plan. However, there are things that are the same. I know on Mondays that I'm going to write, and I haven't been lately because I haven't felt like pulling those posts together, but I know on Mondays that I'm going to write this long list of some different recipes following my keyword. Crystal follows her keywords. Mine follow my keywords. So right now I'm working on fall recipes. So in order to trickle down, or trickle up, I guess, really, to the fall recipes, I need some different fruits and vegetables or whatever that have to do with fall, because I'm creating a landing page. So that's what I've been working on. I know today I need to go look and see, or not today, but yesterday and next Monday, what's the next fruit or vegetable that's a fall fruit or vegetable that I can do some recipes for. And then I say, you know what? Cranberries. I don't have any recipes on my site for cranberries. So I can't do the cranberries this week. I need to make sure on Wednesday that I have a cranberry recipe going live. And maybe on Saturday or Friday, I can use one of those days because they're kind of a whatever I feel like day, and get another cranberry thing going live so that when my post goes on Monday, I have some of my own links to help keep my bounce rate down.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of do the same thing. It's not like I say, okay, on this Monday I'm writing about cranberries, and on this Monday I'm writing about pumpkins, and on this Monday I don't do that necessarily, unless I just happen to sit down and create a whole bunch of content. Then I'll schedule it out. But I still do it the same way Crystal does, in that I look for my keywords, and that's what you have to do. But to me, I have to have specific days. Otherwise, I don't write about my stuff. I don't write about all the different topics that I have on my site. I used to write a blogging basics post on Wednesday, and now I don't write a blogging post hardly at all anymore because I spend so much time doing this, I don't want to do it again.
Mm-hmm. Well, and, we want to make pumpkin crafts and
recipes. And
yeah, we want to share that kind of stuff. And yeah.
So you need to get a plan, whichever plan works for you, or a combination of the two, or whatever. Number one, you need to be writing about your main topics. If not every week, every other week. Otherwise, what's the point of that topic? You're not writing about it. Why is it on your site? Why did you choose that as a main topic? So figure it out. Like Crystal says, I know by the end of the week I have to write about XYZ. I have to write about my keywords sometime by the end of the week. Sorry.
Well, and the other thing I want to talk about is so many people say this. I get private messages from people on Facebook. I get emails from people that are bloggers, and they say, but how do you post every day? This is how I do it. I get up every day and it's part of my routine. Every day I'm responsible for feeding my kids, for helping get my husband out the door with his calls for his business, homeschooling my children, tidying up the house, and getting blog content done. Blog content is not a if I get to it today. Okay? That's the difference. It's I get up early so that I can start working on it, and it is a dance all day long. You know, yesterday we worked on predicates and subjects and modifiers, and I was ready to pull my hair out. But in between that, I'm, making sure that I have Facebook content going out. I've had a post that sometimes it will take me 4 or 5 hours to get one post done because I have so many interruptions throughout the day. But I know that by 7 o'clock I need for that post to be ready so that when my feed goes, it hits. Okay? Sometimes I can sit down and hammer out a post real quick. It just depends. Every day's a little different. Right now, I'm trying to my goal is to move up to the spot where I have 2 quality content posts a day plus my Amazon deal of the day. And that's a goal that I'm working on right now. What is that plan going to look like? I'm probably not going to be able to do that by myself, and I know that. So I need to get my ducks in a row and get everything in order to make that happen. I need to figure out who's going to help me. I need to figure out, does that mean I need to get up even a little bit earlier? What can go off my plate while we work this new thing in? So I just can't say it enough. When people say, but how do you do it every day? Well, I don't know. How do you eat breakfast every day? You know that you have to do it. It really is that simple. If you do not make time for it, if blogging is, if I get to it today, it gets done, then this is a hobby. If blogging is, today, this is what I need to do to run my business and make it work, then this is a business for you. This is something that you take seriously as a profession. I think that's the difference. You have to say that you're going to get it done today and every day. And if you can't, and if that sounds dreadful, then this is not your passion. And you're going to hate it. And if you're doing it just to make money, you're going to hate this. This has to be something that you're passionate about. And there's a lot, we say this all the time. There is so much volunteering that goes into this. There is so much blood, sweat, and tears that go into this. And the day that your site crashes and you think,
did we lose her? Did y'all lose me?
huh?
You said the day that your site crashes and then it stopped.
The day that your site crashes and you think that, and you're in tears because you think you've lost everything, the reason you feel that way is because this was your passion. This is something that you're invested in. This is a baby that you've created, essentially. You created this existence, this site online that gets traffic and maybe supplements your household income and what have you. If this is your passion, you will do it. You will make time for this every single day. You will make the time to do what needs to be done. Do you want to add to that, Kelly?
So we have like 12 minutes. So let's get back to how can you create an editorial calendar? How can you make sure that you're writing about your topics every week or every other week? How can you make sure that you're cranking out quality content every day or every other day or 2, 3, 4, 5 times a day? How do you do it? You have to have some type of plan, whether it's very specific like mine or very general like Crystal's. You have to have a plan. You have to. Otherwise, you're going to wake up every single day, and when you sit down in your office or at your dining room table, if that's where you work, or at your couch, wherever it is that you work, you're going to sit down right there, you're going to look at your screen, you're going to scroll through your drafts, you're going to slide over to Webmaster Tools and stare at it for a little bit, you're going to go into your analytics and stare at that for a little bit, you're going to get on Facebook and get stuck there for an hour or two, you're going to go into Blog Lovin' and get stuck there for an hour or two, you're going to go to Pinterest, same thing, and now it's supper time and you've done nothing. So, a plan. Number one, decide how often can you reasonably post? Or how often are you posting now? 2 or 3 days a week? How can you bump it up? How can you add another post in there? Just one. So when you write, if you write twice a week, maybe you're writing on Mondays and Thursdays. What are you writing about on Mondays? What's the general plan? What are your main topics? One of those needs to be on one day of the week, whether it's always that day or changes or whatever. Decide your main topics and then decide your main keywords. You should be writing about the keywords that you want to rank for every single week. Every single week. Period. Without fail. You should be writing about that keyword. So, if you have 3 keywords that you want to be ranking for, then that's 3 days a week right there. You only have 4 more. And do those 3 keywords fit into your main topics? What main topics are left? Find a main keyword or just start writing a post, and after a month or so, figure out what keywords you want to be ranking for that topic. Do we have any questions about that, Crystal? Do you have anything to say about that?
Well, and then, so you've got 3 keywords that you're working on every week, and there's 4 other days left in the week, and every blog post that goes out doesn't need to be SEO driven. So do we say so then from there you're able to really dive down and figure out exactly what the rest of your week is going to look like. So maybe there's 2 posts that are just generic posts, like, for example, my roundup of, so my Linky Party, that's not SEO optimized, that post. My post that goes live over the weekend, that's a roundup of the top 5 posts from the Linky Party, that's not SEO optimized. And honestly, I don't SEO optimize my deal posts either. So,
me either.
Because I want content that is just regular, average content. So, but listen, I still get, one of the words that we use over and over again in my Linky parties is best mom advice, and I get Webmaster Tool results for that. It's not phenomenal, and I'm not really working hard on that, and I'm not putting time and energy into that, but, I mean, you will, it's like Kelly said earlier, you will get results for stuff that you're not trying for. But so once you figure out, you got 7 days in a week,
which can create a good series.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe in June, Crystal wants to do best mom advice every single day with different tips and things every single day because she is getting traffic for that. So that would be a good series for her to do. And June or July are not good months for bloggers, or at least not in our niche.
July is the beginning of August. June was good for me. It was like the 2nd week of July until the 3rd week of August.
So maybe that would be a good series for her to do a best mom advice thing every single day for her slow month because she is getting traffic, and it's going to bump it up. When she starts writing about it on a more consistent basis, she's going to get more traffic for it.
That's a really good idea. I could have people come on, like have guest posters, bloggers that say, this is their best mom advice for summer survival or whatever, summer travel tips, because I'll tell you, I've considered this next summer not, how do I not put as much, because I still put as much time and energy into my blog every day in the summertime as I do throughout the rest of the year. I do. You don't think so, Kelly?
No.
Oh, I do. I still work on having a post just as many times a week.
True, but I don't believe that you put as much into it, and neither do I.
I feel like I do.
My house. I go off with my family. I go on vacation. I go to the pool. I go to the beach. I'm not sitting in front of my computer 10 to 12 hours a day during the summer. I'm off with my family.
I am in front of my computer just as much, and when we travel, I have never, in the last 4 years, I have not traveled without a computer. Like, if
you still, even though you're traveling, do you still spend as much time in front of that computer as you would at home?
I feel like we do. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I have amnesia, and this summer, it's already.
So 6 minutes. Do we have any more questions about an editorial calendar?
Well, there was something else I was going to say about the editorial calendar, but now I can't remember what it was. I'm sure you covered it well, but I can't remember what it was. So guys, I hope that you're feeling inspired to say, okay, how am I going to kick this up a notch? So if you have 3 posts a week that you're working on that are geared towards SEO, and you only want to write Sunday through Friday, so 6 days a week, those other 3 posts that are going to come out, what are they going to be? Are they going to be just generic average posts? Maybe one more of them is going to be an SEO post. Maybe, what is it going to be? So then how can you, if you're already posting 6 days a week or 7 days a week, and 3 posts are focused on keywords, but you want to kick it up a notch and you really want your search engine traffic to increase even more, say right now your search engine referral traffic is only 5% of your traffic, how can we get it? Right now I've got Pinterest, search engine, and direct are my top 3. That's like 30%, 30%, 30% pretty much. If Pinterest dies tomorrow, I'm still going to be okay because all of my eggs are not in the Pinterest basket. If something happens where Google changes its algorithms and and it decides that it hates Crystal & Co., my site's not going to die because I've got some eggs in my Pinterest basket and I've got people that have subscribed well and that are coming over and directly coming to my site every day. So when you reach that point where you want to increase your search engine traffic, how are you going to do that? Can you say, okay, 2 days a week I'm going to post 2 quality content posts 2 days a week. So maybe that's Sunday and Wednesday. And then outside of that, I'm still going to continue with the other 6 posts throughout the week that I was doing. So that's how we're going to get growth. If we always do what we've always done, we'll always get what we've always gotten, right? I can't remember who said that, but somebody used to say that all the time where I used to work.
It's like a Dr. Seuss thing.
And it's so true. So if you're ready, what is it that you want? You want more search engine traffic? You want more viral traffic? You want more people to come to you as the go-to person for easy dinner recipes? It's not going to happen by accident. How are you going to make this happen? So I hope that we've shared some things with you that you are ready to implement and that change the way that you're blogging right now and help you reach that goal. And also know that our 2 things. Our class that we have room for 3 more people. We're going to have a little bit larger of a class than we typically have, but we're already, we haven't even hardly promoted it, and like that we had a handful of people sign up immediately. So if you're wanting to work on an SEO plan, that is exactly what we do in this class for you. One person who took our class, who took class 6, just reported to us the other day, they've only implemented 2 of the landing pages and they've already had over 60% increase in organic search engine traffic. So, if that's something that you want to work on, that's what we're doing in this class. We have room for 3 more people. If you do not have a budget of $100 to spend on a class right now, you need to get over on the forum. It's $7.99 a month, and we share, within the first 6 days you can change what you're making on AdSense. The videos that Kelly put together for optimizing your AdSense revenue are awesome, and person after person says, oh my goodness, I've already seen an instant difference. There are step-by-step tasks over there on the forum that's all about growing your blog. And here's what's so great about the forum. I understand that forums are hard for people to get used to wanting to go. It's another place to have to check every day. It's different because we're so used to social media communities like Facebook where we can just go in and instantly talk to people. But here's the thing about a forum. How many times have you been on our Facebook page and somebody says, they ask a question like, how do I set up X, Y, and Z? And those of us who have been around on that Facebook group for a long time are like, this question was just asked last week. In Facebook, stuff gets lost. You can't organize it. There's no organizing it. People don't use the search function to go in and search and say, is there anything about this topic being shared? The thing about a forum is it's all organized. So all of our topics about brand-seeking bloggers, you just click on that thread and you're in there and you're reading, 15 posts about brand-seeking bloggers. If you're wanting to grow your AdSense, it's organized. It's all in one place, and it's not redundant. What were you going to say, Kelly?
Nothing. I'm
Oh,
supposed
sorry. I thought you were going to say something. Anyway, so if the class is not something that you're interested in right now or that you don't have a budget for, I really encourage you to go check out the forum. Try it for a month for $7.99 and see. It is a plan of growth. If you have no budget at all, start working your way through the 85 videos that we've done. They're an hour long a piece. A lot of people say, I don't have an hour to sit down and do this. This is not easy work. There is so much information that goes into just creating a successful Pinterest account or just successfully using Twitter or whatever. There's a lot of information, and we're transparent and we share everything. If you have no budget, you need time. You need time to sit down and watch those videos and start implementing those things so that if you watch all of those videos, there is no reason why you shouldn't be making money on your site. You're not doing something. Go ahead.
Not if you watch all those videos. If you watch all those videos and implement what we're telling you.
Right, yes.
You can watch all the HGTV in the world, but if you don't actually implement some of that stuff, your house isn't going to change. You're still not going to have supper on the table. Your house isn't going to be organized or whatever.
Yes, you need to watch the videos and you need to implement what's shared. That's for sure. You can't just, you need to be implementing it. Same thing with the class. You can't just take the class. You have to implement what we share. So, all right, Miss Kelly, any final thoughts? Do we have any final questions that have come through? Did I lose you? Huh?
What?
I thought I lost you.
No, I'm here.
Do we have any final questions that came through? I'm just scrolling through them real quick. Susan says, editorial calendar, what kind, real or online? How do you do yours? She asked it 4 minutes ago, 6 minutes ago.
Well, I haven't seen any updates since 10:27, so for 30 minutes, I haven't seen anything new.
Oh, there's tons of things then. What?
So let's see if we can knock those questions out real quick because I'm not seeing them. So.
Okay, let me go through them. So at 27 after was the last question that you saw?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, hold on.
It's from Crystal that says, I can see Mitzi Smith growing by leaps and bounds. I don't see anything after that. Oh, word.
Okay. So people are saying that pictures take forever to do in a blog post. I would say the same thing. The pictures are what take me the longest amount of time to take the picture. I come in and I upload them and start editing them, and then, lighting wasn't right, whatever. I got to retake some pictures, and then creating the blog post. I mean, sometimes I will spend a whole day doing one blog post. Crystal Green says, speaking of linky parties on blogs, how many should a blogger really share on their site that is a mommy blogger and expect to earn money? I don't really understand the question, but I only have one linky party a week on my site. And I don't think that a linky party has anything to do with that's not really directly related to if you're making money or not. The linky party is an opportunity for people to come on and share their stuff, and so you're getting other people's links on your site, and in turn they're getting outbound links for their content.
And you can get a little bit more traffic because all those bloggers are coming to your site to leave their links, but it's more just a resource to me. It's not something that I'm getting traffic and money off of.
Right.
Well, I don't spend time optimizing it for SEO or anything of that nature.
Mm-hmm. Let's see. The next thing is Crystal Green said I'm that way with a lot of posts I love to share. That's why I normally keep them in my drafts, or otherwise she wants to post them early. So that was when we were talking about having content stockpiled up in your drafts. Natasha says, I'm an activity blog, so we have loads of pictures of activities, and after I look at them once a month and place them on my editorial calendar. I plan them out according to what's missing on my blog. I'm learning more about keywords and have seen some real traffic come in from them, and I try to keep those in mind when I place my activities. So Natasha, let me just tell you, there's one blogger who's a dinosaur blogger. She's been around forever. It's momadvice.com. And I have heard her say that what she does is she works on creating her content all weekend long. That's when she creates her content, and she holds it, and it goes live throughout the week. And that method has worked for her. Now, I don't know if she posts every day or not. She's been around forever, so she has loyal readers because of that. But that's a good thing. So take your pictures and activities, but also consider things that are current, like things that are seasonal and right now need to be shared. If you wait a month to go through your camera roll to figure out what you're going to post about, it may be something that you miss traffic on because now we're talking about Christmas or Elf on the Shelf, and we're not talking about pumpkins anymore. That's just an example. Anything you want to add to that, Kelly?
Nope.
Okay. Cindy says, I have specific types of posts for each Monday through Friday, and I schedule the post on my calendar on the first of the month. I have one open day in October. I do write in batches and pre-schedule posts so that when a sponsor post comes through, I can focus on that. I need to focus more on keywords because I'm ranking for bizarre words. If you're ranking for stuff that you do not want to rank for or you do not understand why you're ranking for them, then you need to give some deliberate attention to your webmaster tools. And I know that you know that. So not related. So that's not related to what she writes about regularly. What was I going to say? So that's great. If you can have your calendar set out that far in advance, that works for some people. That is your personality type. You know, kudos to you. I don't work that way. And, you know, I don't want to sit down and write in batches. That's just not how my personality works. But for those of you that are like that, that is very successful for a lot of people. Let's see. Tisha says, is there a session for looking at keywords in Google? I haven't figured out keywords yet. Yes, we can pull that video and share a link here. Let's see. What else? So Susan's talking more about editorial calendars. There's actually plugins that you can use for that, Susan. We did a hangout on it. We'll share that link here too. Brainpower Boy already shared the video for Tish, so we don't need to pull that in. Let's see. What else?
Tisha, yeah, I highly suggest you take
talking about. I need to learn more about CoSchedule. I haven't used CoSchedule.
Everybody keeps talking about it. I don't use it either. I use what do I use? I don't know what I use.
Post Planner?
No. For my editorial calendar? No.
Okay. I thought CoSchedule was something to do with social media.
It's your blog, but you can, from what I understand, I mean, I haven't looked at it at all, just from comments and stuff here and there. It's your blog's editorial calendar, but you can also put in social media stuff.
Oh, okay.
So I use EditFlow.
Mm.
It.
Well, that's it. That's it for the question. For the questions. Tisha did come in and say, I've figured out activities I complete during the traditional time, Halloween post in October, for example, to work on a schedule for the next year. So it lets me get some work done ahead. Some people do that. I mean, Kelly will create some content. If she has an influx of content for a certain season or topic, then she'll save it for next year. But for me, I say get that content out there now, because that's another thing to be indexed for now instead of waiting a year later to get the traffic for that. If Google sees that you've written 5 things about pumpkins and then another blogger has written 15 things about pumpkins, who has more content indexed for that topic? Who is more likely to get search engine traffic for that topic? Who potentially has a better landing page created, which Google loves? So just think about it that way. I mean, I know people want to be ahead of the game, but, like, get the content out there. Go ahead. What were you going to say?
Here's the deal. So Halloween, I sat down and I made a ton of Halloween printables, and I do one at a time on my site. I don't do a whole kit of Halloween printables. I just with one printable each time, so that I'm ranking for handwriting, and I'm ranking for a coloring page, and I'm ranking for greater than, less than, and multiplication, and whatever the things are. So I'm getting search engine traffic for the very specifics. So what happened was, the reason I say this is because last year I just sat down and made a ton of printables. I mean, I spent like 3 days just making printables. And then I started putting them 2 a week. And I had some guest posts out there. I had a lot of stuff going on last year for Halloween because I had just combined all 3 of my sites. So I really, really was trying to get my search engine traffic back up, this, that, and the other. So for Halloween printables last year, for pretty much the entire month of October, I was on page 1. So if you searched for Halloween printables or Halloween freebies, I was on page 1. I got tons of traffic for that. So instead of trying to get all that stuff put in when I was running out of days and I was already on page 1, like 1.1, like the number 1 spot for a lot of them, I saved it to go out this year so that I can try to recreate and be on page 1 again this year. So it's not that I always just save, but as time is running out, just because I had created tons and tons and tons of stuff, I saved it. So,
So there's always other ways to look at things. You know, there's always half a dozen one and whatever. But, you know, I just want you, the very basic, I mean, I understand why you would do that, Kelly. But at a very basic fundamental level, again, if you have 5 posts about the topic that are indexed and another blog has 15 posts about the topic indexed, I don't really have to tell you what that means. You know. So, you know, and also, real quick, I know we're so over, but don't forget about the content you created last year. You need to go back in and push that out and look at it. How can I improve that photo? Did I set it up following the correct template? Did I link to my landing page? Oh, wait a minute. I don't even have a landing page created for this. Go create that landing page. Like, go over. This is the perfect time to look at last season's content and make sure, you know, how can I repin all of that to Pinterest? I need to get some traffic going for that. So think about that as well. All right, guys, I think that's it. We will be back in 2 weeks to have our next hangout. Yes, go ahead.
Call me whenever we're done.
Okay, I'll call you. All right, so do you know how many messages I have to call someone else? I have to, yeah, we've been sitting here and all my stuff is going off. Anyway, so we'll see you guys in 2 weeks, and we're talking about, what are we talking about? I think fall traffic, making sure you've got your ducks in a row.
Yeah,
making sure you're getting the most for your fall traffic. I think that's our next topic. So we will see you guys then. Thank you for being here, and let us know if you have any questions. Chat with us this week over on Facebook. Otherwise, we'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye, guys.
Bye.